The question is, war is known to cause physical wounds. Something that might be slightly overlooked are other wounds. For example, emotional, mental, and other forms of invisible wounds. What can society do to help heal those wounds? And I purposely didn't want to give you these notes ahead of time.
Yeah, so you get the
real answer. And I know, I've only known you for, I don't know when we exactly met, but I remember talking to you maybe a year. I don't know.
A year and a half, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, because I have photos on my phone of you and I.
That's right, at one of the graduations, right?
Yeah, we're doing prom poses and just looking so serious. But yeah, you're a real guy, and I want these honest answers. But yeah, with all that said, what can society do to help heal those wounds?
Healing the wounds, I think, is complicated. I think that anyone that goes through a traumatic event, war is one thing. Obviously, not everybody goes to war, and for all the folks out there, I mean, life is hard.
Yeah.
Life is difficult, and it never ceases to throw darts in our direction. And it's hard to mentally prepare yourself for those things. And I think we're some of those mental wounds that folks experience, they get those wounds because things happen that they didn't expect. So what do you do when the wound is already there? Obviously, there's all kinds of therapies. We can talk about what the best hospital and who the best physician is to see the things. I think as far as existing, people got to talk about it. Hands down, one of the reasons why I always and will continue to talk about my story, whether or not it affects me a certain kind of way or not, is because every time I talk about it, it gets easier to talk about it. Not only that, someone out there, and I never know who those people are, they're listening. They're hearing it. Maybe it wasn't the exact same thing that I went through, but maybe it was close. Maybe they got something. But I think there's no amount of pills and no amount of therapy sessions you can go to that is going to replace open communication with regular people. We hide these things. I think people, they hide their pain, they hide their wounds, and they think that they can just go and talk to a stranger with a lab coat, and that's going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
It may fix some of the problems, and medication may smooth some of those things over, but I think some of the best therapy that I've ever gotten is sitting in a garage with a couple of beers, talking to the boys about things that I went through.
Natty Light, is that what you're drinking?
I wouldn't stoop that low, but something similar. I'm an IPA guy. But I think just being open and communicating. Yeah, that thing happened to me. That thing happened to you. That sucks. It's not cool. It's going to be, it's not going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay for it not to be good for a while. Outside of that, the preventative is the way to go. Especially in the military, people need to expect that this difficult thing that we do is a potential hazard. I think a lot of people don't think that. And expectation management can get us into trouble sometimes.
That's a whole separate
rabbit hole.
Yeah,
right?
that's a rabbit hole. Yeah.